Hey, what is up YouTube, and welcome back to episode 8 of my Let's Play Factorio series, where the objective is to build a 1000 science pack per minute tiled mega base. This is the status of the base so far. In the last episode we built the tile to produce the green circuits and red circuits, and today we'll start by building the tile for the blue circuits. And then after that I was thinking about doing some stuff for the biters, so maybe build an artillery train and set up some better defenses at my outpost, because I keep getting attacked and the biters are getting bigger and we are starting to get some green biters which are a pain to deal with. So let's head into a creative test world and see about building the blue tile. Okay guys, so here's what I've come up with. Now these machines, they consume a ton of green circuits. It's actually insane. You need 20 electronic circuits for 10 seconds of crafting time, but because it's beaconed, it actually consumes the entire blue belt of electronic circuits, and it's struggling to keep up. So for that reason I only have 3 machines in a row. And I build it like this, so I have the same setup on both sides, and I put the green train, the green circuits train right in the middle so that it can unload on both sides. And this is what the entire tile is going to look like. The only thing worth noting here is that even though the acid train is going to be a 2x4, it's still going to use the big stacker because I didn't have enough space to walk around and putting in a small stacker in here. But it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day we are just wasting a few rails and I don't really care about that. Okay, and let's look at the production statistics. So this tile is producing 1.3 thousand processing unit every minute, and we needed, if we take a look at the chart, we needed about 1.2 thousand every minute, which means that this tile will be enough to supply the whole base. Alright, and now let's head back into the main world and build this tile. Okay guys, so a quick update. I finished building the processing unit tile. It's only missing the beacons and the module as always. However, we need some acid for the processing unit and I hadn't set it up just yet. So this is the acid tile, the acid and plastic tile right here. And I did notice in the last episode that we actually have 2 petroleum trains coming in, and I didn't know if I want to just pipe it from here to here or just leave it as it is with the 2 trains coming in. And I think I'm just going to leave it like this, the way it is right now with 2 trains coming in. It's a bit dumb because we'll have 4 trains waiting in each stacker, but build it like this, so I'm just gonna use it like this. It's fine. Now this guy, to produce acid, I did set up a small iron train, but we don't need a lot of iron to produce the acid. We only need 1 plate every second, and that is not a lot. And so I didn't want to use to have a big 3x8 train coming in, because that's the ones that we have set up here for the iron trains. And this is a massive train to bring in into this tile because everything is so cramped right here. so I have to figure out a way to have this train come and get some iron at the smelter. And I think the way I'm going to do it is just change this here a bit, so that actually, yeah, okay, actually increase the size of. It's gonna be a bit annoying either way, because the way that the train stop are set up, if I add another locomotive right here and I try to move the the train stop, it doesn't fit. It should be in between those two, otherwise my train is going to be offset. Now let's see, how does that work? If I put this right here and just add another locomotive right here and move this train stop right here, let's see how this ends up. Let's hop into the train, move it back, go back to the train stop. Now you can see that my train is offset compared to the other train, but my unloading station still match. Yeah, because it has free locomotive, it's going to be able to stop at this stop with the first wagon being here. Otherwise, if only had two locomotives, the first wagon would be here, and we would have one wagon that's not going to be loaded. I could also have taken this and put it here, copied over, but then my whole 8x8 balance doesn't work anymore, and that's a bit annoying. So yes, let's just leave it like this. It doesn't really matter in the long term, because it's only one train that's concerned. And now we'll be producing acid, and this train, once full, will come to the processing unit style right here. And I still need to set up the red train and the green train, and this will be all set up. And there it is, guys. As you can see, this tile is also operational now, albeit it's working at a very slow pace. But what I'm doing with the train is the same as I did with the red and green circuits train, which is just bringing them in at the end of my base. So the processing unit train will stop right here and unload into my module making part of the factory. What I'm also doing is I've started researching the artillery shell range, because the first level of the artillery is just, the range is just so poor that it doesn't really make sense to use at level 1 unless you're going to be using it manually. But I want to have the artillery in a train going to my outpost, so it gets a bigger range, and that's what I want to start working on now. Alright guys, so I've set up my artillery train, and let me show you how I did it. So the first thing you notice is that it's right here, and the size that I made my train is 3 by 11. And the reason for that is so that the train is 14 wagons long, and that's the same size that we have on the biggest trains going into my tiled megabase. And that ensures that the train won't be stuck between the intersection. But now I think I could make it just a little bit longer, but this will do for now. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing in the artillery shells by bots. They are being built right down, let me see, where was it? Right down here. And these artillery shells are very annoying because they don't stack, which means that if you have them in your inventory, like so, it will very rapidly fill it up. So you definitely want to have bots carrying those around. Now when they are in the wagons, as you can see, then they stack up, and I think they stack up to 99 if I'm not mistaken. Which means that the train can carry a lot of those. At the moment there is almost 550 inside my wagon, and that's the condition for it to set off is to have at least 550 artillery shells inside, and then I'm going around my outpost, artillery 1, 2, 3, and 4, etc., and shooting at the biters. Now let me show you guys where these outposts are. At the moment I have one right here and one right here, and looking at the range of the artillery train, now I did unlock what is it? Artillery shell range 2, because now the third one is available, so I did unlock the second range, and the light red circle is the current range of the artillery, which is pretty decent for the moment. So if my train is here, we have this, it covers this range about there, which is fine for now. And so like I said, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 outposts, and I'm going to show you how I set them up. But before that, I also want to show you the resupply train that I set up. Okay, and here's my artillery post resupply train. And what I did is I simply set up the train wagon to carry all the items required to build my defensive outpost. And I set up some requested chests to fill in the train. Now let's go to one outpost. Let's go to the first one, which is the closest one. Okay, and here's the artillery outpost. And there is quite a lot of laser turrets on this outpost. I think there's about what is it? 420 turrets. Pretty cool. And what I'm doing is I have 2 stops, one for my artillery train, which is gonna come right in here and start shooting, and then the biters are gonna be aggroed and start running towards me. And the second outpost is for my supply. The second train stop is for my supply train, and I have filter inserters with some logistics cables connected to them, and they are filtered to set up to only take out the items, and everyone has a condition. For example, this one is only allowed to pick up a single radar, but because it's the stack inserter, it will take a few more, which I could then disable it with this, but this is fine the way it is. And then the interesting part is this guy right here. So what I did, I should also set this one to it doesn't matter. I've also connected this filter inserter directly into the roboport, and I've connected the roboport with a logistics cable. And if you do that, you can then click on the roboport and select this option, read robot statistics, and it will give you some signals. For example, signal Z or Z, available construction bots, and then you can use on your logistics network, it will tell you that the quantity of bots will be sent over the signal Z, and then you can just simply say, if I have less than 50 bots, insert bots into the roboports, and that will ensure that there's always robots inside your robo network. And that is important because sometimes when you get attacked, the robots will try to go and repair the turrets, and they will then in turn get damaged and destroyed by the aliens. And so over time it is possible to lose bots, but with this setup as it is, every time the train comes in here, some construction bots will be brought back into the network. Alright, and here we are at outpost number 4, and the artillery train just came in, and let's have a look at what's going on. So the train starts shooting in every direction and is targeting all the enemy bases that are in sight. And if we take a look at the range, it's pretty decent. So it covers a good range, and it's gonna take care of all those biters' nests in this region, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so as you can see, even though the wall is not completely built just yet, it's still doing a pretty decent amount of damage and is able to take care of all the biters fairly quickly. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. In the next episode, I think we can start working on the science production tiles. And in the meantime, I'll keep going around my base, finish setting up those artillery outposts, and maybe I'll start setting up some more mining outposts. So yeah, I hope you enjoy watching this episode, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Cheers!